Yes, guys, everything bite-sized here, back with another mental health video. Today we're going to be talking about a group of drugs that are called synthetic cannabinoids. They're known as Spice or K2 or Mamba, and these drugs are absolutely horrific. I personally think they're up there with heroin and crack and meth, and they're very serious. And yeah, they are horrible. They are absolutely horrible. I've seen them destroy communities, destroy people, destroy friends. People become a former shell of themselves. But anyway, we're going to be looking on Reddit to see what people say about this drug and their personal experiences. The first thread is titled, "You should know that synthetic weed, spice or K2, can cause something worse than death when you use it, especially the first time, and it can ruin your children and loved ones' lives. This is a public service announcement due to the higher than normal levels of stress and drug use at this time of the year. Synthetic drugs can cause you to live in your own tortured existence, a fate worse than death. My ex-husband was a high-level IT engineer slash executive. After doing synthetic weed with a new girlfriend, he went into permanent psychosis due to actual brain damage from spice. She did too, but I don't know whatever happened to her. Over the course of a year, he'd attacked the police, stolen his children and told them bad people were trying to hurt them, ruined the computer hardware and networks of an employer, parentheses, he thought the FBI were after him, tried to kidnap his oldest daughter from her mum, and woke up with a head wound 4 states away with no idea how he got there, but tried to blame it on me and the government. He destroyed our kids' lives financially and emotionally. Between therapy costs to deal with the trauma, complete lack of child support from him, lack of health benefits, and one day he just left the country and is now overseas in a mental hospital. I work but live in a high cost area. I make too much to qualify for any benefits of any kind. The state can't help because he's overseas. Disability can't help because he's too paranoid to apply for benefits. All because he was stressed out and wanted to get higher without it showing up on a drug test. Please don't do it. If one person reading this has helped, then I'm grateful. Happy holidays all, make good choices." Yeah, that is, okay, that story is intense. And yeah, there's a lot of people who take it because it don't show up on drug tests, but then it ends up ruining their lives. That's really terrible, that is. So I'm going to go through some of the comments and replies. "Not quite as permanent or crazy, but the one time I tried it, I managed to have a panic attack whilst having a relaxing romantic bath with my girlfriend. I figure if it can make even something that chill and nice stressful, it's bad news." "Concur, I smoked spice one time and never again. It lasted an eon and I thought I was going to die. Most unpleasant experience of my entire life. Got away with doing spice in tiny doses, parentheses micro bowls, when it first came out. Then a new blend called Blaze rolled out. My friend and I rolled a fat blunt and smoked the whole thing. Felt like my heart was racing from the hummingbird-like speeds it was beating at. All the while the drug started activating parts of my reptilian midbrain that made me irrationally and murderously angry and sad at the same time. Luckily I kept most of my ego that told me not to act on these violent impulses, but it felt like a wooden fence being used as a floodgate. After the wave of emotion subsided, I felt pure dread, like cold liquid death being pumped through my vascular system. I had that feeling old animals get when they instinctually know it's their time, so they crawl into a hole in the ground to die. I felt confident I wasn't going to make it. During these moments I started hearing clear and distinct voices of children's laughter and someone trudging through knee-deep water. I was seeing fractals and kaleidoscope images overlaid on reality. I felt so effing cold and I was the palest I've ever been. The only thing I could manage was hugging my feet sitting in the fetal position. I look over to my friend and he's in the same exact position, giving me an identical look. We somehow manage a weak chuckle knowing we're in the same effing boat. The ordeal lasts 30 minutes but felt like an eternity. The come down was the best thing ever, feeling reality fill your brain slowly and touching the ground again. Wow, that was intense. Similar thing happened to me with Mary Joy. Think it's a similar synthetic. Ended up having a full-blown panic attack. Ran away from my friends all the way to my parents' house and locked myself in the bathroom until I calmed down. Was very perturbed to find myself wedged in the gap between the wall and the toilet when I came back to myself. Damn, okay. Someone else says, my sister was with this guy for about 8 years and he kept going in and out of jail for dumb crimes. To cheat on his parole and urine testing, he started using spice instead. The very time he did it, he was so paranoid and thought my sister was cheating that he hit her. Oh no. Fast forward 3 months, they're still together and he does the whole spice thing again. Gets freaked out by something and took a knife to my sister's arm. She has a massive scar now and he's back in jail. Don't do spice, kids. Whoa, whew, that was a deep one. I don't know whether to end it on that one or not, because that's pretty deep. Look, I'll just say my personal experiences, yeah, and then end it at that. Like, this drug is bad news, right? So when I was a heroin addict years ago, I couldn't afford heroin one time. I only had £5 and the smallest amount I could get was a tenner. So I got a bag of spice instead. And I tell you what, I had the worst experience, yeah. I smoked it. I felt like someone was trying to crawl out of my throat. Like, I couldn't breathe properly. I felt like a hand was trying to claw out of my throat and out of my mouth. It was horrible. The auditory hallucinations from it were horrible too. Everything sounded scary. Like, noises just weren't the same. And then another time I smoked it, I was trying to get into this door. Yeah, I thought it was to my flat, yeah, my apartment, but it wasn't. It was someone else's, and I was wondering why my key wasn't working, and I was getting frustrated, not trying to kick the door in, but kicking the door out of frustration. Key wasn't working. I was there for about 10 minutes, and then suddenly I realised I was at the wrong flipping door, and so I apologised to the person inside. I was like, sorry mate, sorry, like, I've got the wrong door. And they were like, okay, like, and they must have thought I was trying to break in or something. It's horrible stuff, man. I've seen it turn people from decent, loving, caring, compassionate, funny people to just like a shell of their former selves. And it's absolutely epidemic in the homeless community. When I was homeless, everyone I knew was smoking it. And I smoked it a few times, but I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. It, like, even normal weed, if it's sativa and high in THC and low in CBD, can send me into a panic attack. So this stuff, wow, like, it is intense. As far as I can remember, correct me if I'm wrong, THC is only a partial agonist to the cannabinoid receptors, whereas these artificial cannabinoids are full agonists, so that's why they're so much more intense. And obviously with all the bans and then bringing out new formulas to get around the bans, it just got stronger and stronger and stronger, and it's a huge problem in the UK. It's a massive problem, and I see it as bad as any other addictive drug or substance. I really do. Like, I'm being honest. Like, I haven't seen a drug like destroy someone as quickly as that, honestly. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. Please don't try synthetic cannabinoids, I beg you. They are not the way to get high. They're just awful. I'm gonna leave it at that. You've been locked into Everything Bite Size. Check out my other content and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.